Alright, I think we are ready for our stream. Our speedrunner is ready for the game. Please welcome on in, Janus. Let me get the proper JanusZeal6 to play Chrono Trigger Jet of Time Randomizer. Welcome on in. Would you like to introduce yourself and your couch? Never mind that. I am still nervous, as you can see.
It's alright, you'll do fine. I'm JanusZeal. I have been part of this randomizer since pretty much the early beta days. It is a lot of fun. It's an open world randomizer. With me tonight is Cthulhu Crisis, who is actually the one who came up with the category that I'm running tonight. If you'd like to introduce yourself in the category.
Yeah, I'm also your coach.
Yeah.
So I'm Cthulhu Crisis. I am a guest here tonight, and I am super excited about that. So this is a fun category, and you get to see a lot of things really quickly. So I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Alright, so timing will start when I hit A on wait here. We'll go in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so you got a glimpse of our starting characters here. I have some decent items to choose from here, actually. Probably spent a little too much money, but...
Yeah,
I kind of want to go over the basics here.
Yeah, so this uses a flag set called Lost Worlds. In Lost Worlds, or in a normal Jets of Time seed, you start with 600 AD and 1000 AD unlocked, and then you gain access to additional time areas by completing quests and finding key items. In Lost Worlds Plus, everything's a little backwards, so you start in the future with access to prehistory and the Dark Ages. And that means all 5 dungeons that are key item checks that are available to you are end-game dungeons, or pretty close to it, other than the future check. There's one future check that's pretty early. But because there's only 5 key item checks and 5 key items, we can pretty quickly figure out where things are. And in Lost Worlds Plus, we use that knowledge. So the first run, we're going to be trying to go through one of the go modes, and then we will new game plus and go through the second go mode. And so knowing where we need to go in that second run is fairly important. So that first place that they went was to get a character recruitment. So that gives us our 3rd character. And then it looks like we may be going to get a 4th character.
Yeah, one of our starting characters here was Frog, who unfortunately in this flag set is not the greatest. Mostly because all of his best equipment and stuff is key items that do not appear in this flag set currently.
Yeah, that is coming to fix very quickly in an update, but not quite in time for today, so... But I gotta say, Marl and Luca is a pretty great start. I think I might know who you're looking for at the top here.
Oh god, yes. There's one specific character that I would absolutely love at the top, and we would also need another item, but we can potentially get that right away as well. I really hope that comes together. That would be an absolute blast.
And that character that I think you were probably hoping for is Ayla. Or are you hoping for Magus?
I was hoping for Magus.
Oh, okay. That would be cool too. Really, there's no character that can be up here that isn't going to be an improvement. Now, this trick is incredibly precise. It's pixel perfect to get past this encounter, and you got it. We get to see one more of those in the same dungeon.
Yep. Took a little bit longer than I wanted, but thankfully with pause buffering, it's That might actually be 2. No, that was 1 pixel. So thankfully, like, you can set up right next to the ladder, and for both of them, you just have to go 2 pixels left.
Yeah.
Chrono is fantastic here, actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's not really a character you would find up here that wouldn't work with this team.
Yeah. It's a little unfortunate. I probably shouldn't have actually bought the Brave Sword thinking about it for Frog there, but just in case, it was not the worst thing to pick up. Let's actually see what's in this shop here.
So as you can see, there's some things that are a little different from a regular Chrono Trigger run. All of the shops are randomized, all of the character recruitments are randomized, and then we also already have the epoch. And so we can already fly and time travel to the areas we need to for this run. So really, one of the things that makes Lost Worlds Plus kind of interesting is how open it is. Right from the beginning, you have access to all of your checks. So you get to look at your characters, see what techs you have, and kind of choose your routing based off of what you find. And personal preference. So we are heading into Reptite Lair here. There's a couple reasons we would go to Reptite Lair at the start. It's a really good source of tech points early. It's a dungeon that if you have the right techs, the boss is not going to give you a whole lot of trouble either. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Delta Force is unlocked.
Yeah,
which
I
is
happen to notice.
Triple tech.
You unfortunately, probably won't be using Delta Force that often, because that dual tech that we learned, that 2 pieces of Delta Force use, is just a little bit better.
Yeah, that's Antipode 2. Or was that Antipode 3?
Antipode 2. We don't have Flare yet.
Oh, okay.
So typically it's... Triple techs are very, very flashy in this game, but unfortunately not many of them are actually worth it. And it's just because it uses all 3 of your character's turns.
Yeah, there's a couple that have like a niche use, but for the most part, yeah, usually you're going to be better off doing a dual tech and having the 3rd character to be able to heal if you need to, or whatever. So Reptite Lair is a pretty simple dungeon. Not a lot of places to get lost in. It's kind of an early mid-game dungeon in vanilla. And that chest, that second chest you grabbed there, is not as easy to grab as it looks.
Yeah,
so...
I made that look incredibly easy.
Yeah, like I know it doesn't, that skip doesn't look impressive, but it's the most frustrating thing in the world to miss.
Yeah, so there's actually a little jutting of the wall above it that you have to squeeze in between that and the enemy, and even then it's tight to get the chest on top of that. Like, it's not the worst thing to miss it, but, like, you just have to run away from the battle or fight it, but it always feels nice to get it.
It does. So we are heading into the Nisball Fight. Nisball is pretty simple. He doesn't have great magic defense, so you can hit him down with spells if you need to, but if you happen to have access to lightning spells, you can use those to lower his physical defense. This team really isn't going to struggle a whole lot with Nisball, most likely, other than their low HP values.
Yeah, I don't need to use lightning here to lower his defense, but I'm going to do it so he doesn't do that AoE as often. He'll just sit here and wait to release the electrocution energy. So it just makes it's going to make this fight a lot safer for me here.
Yeah, it's easy for this fight to kind of get out of hand too. Especially this early. You were tempted.
Yeah, it's just not worth it. Like, Antidote 2 is doing 1,300 damage. Lightning 2 is not going to do that much more.
Yeah, I'd probably take it up to 15.
Yeah. Of course he releases it right before I input the command to... we'll use electricity again, just to be safe here. As you saw, the release only did about 80 damage to everyone, whereas his AoE physical did more like 130 to 150. So it's just a lot less dangerous.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the one downside to Chrono is he is very equipment-based. He really needs great equipment to be strong. And it's probably going to be a little bit into the run, unless we get real lucky before we have that.
I actually just need to get 12,000 gold here, thankfully. In the prehistory shop, I saw an Aeon Blade, which isn't the best weapon, but it's a really good mid-game weapon for Chrono.
It'll get you through most of the run.
Yeah. And I'm not sad if that's my final weapon for Chrono. There's a lot worse.
Yeah.
Alright, so what do we have here? Clone. Alright, that's perfect. That's piece 1 of our first go mode. If you want to kind of go over the go modes here.
Yeah. So there are 2 different go modes in Lost Worlds. Which one of them involves getting the clone and the chrono trigger, and going through the Death's Peak dungeon, which unlocks Black Omen. And then that go mode ends when you kill Zeal. The other go mode requires getting the Dreamstone and the Ruby Knife, and then beating Tyranno Lair to get access to the Ocean Palace and Lavos. In this Lost Worlds Plus, you're always going to see the Zeal go mode first in the first run. So that clone means we're halfway to what we need for this first run. And then the second go mode will New Game Plus, and then we'll have to go do the dungeons to unlock the second go mode. And at that point, we'll be pretty heavily leveled, and we get to keep most of your gear. There are certain things that don't carry over in a New Game Plus, but otherwise, that second run, it's a little cathartic, I think, to fight some of those bosses that can be a handful.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. And especially if you've played through the game, or if you've even played the rando, you know how awful and kind of random Lavos can be. Feels so good to be just very over-leveled to fight them.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are heading into the Guardian fight. This Guardian fight is a pretty safe play here. And a good play, because it's a quick dungeon that you get to the boss really fast. The boss is kind of a health sponge a little bit. I think it has about 3,000 health, but the big thing with it is that you've got to take out the bits. If you don't take out the bits, then you get counterattacked like this, which can be a little rough. But Guardian is so early in the vanilla game that they don't expect you to have access to shadow magic, which is what Antipode 2 counts as.
Oh, I forgot to equip the Aeon Blade. I was like, why did that do so little damage?
Happens to the best of us. That might be... That's a near perfect Marl tech list. Like, if she had haste, that would be the perfect Marl.
Yeah, haste instead of like Cure 2. Cure 2 is fine, but It's usually overkill.
Yeah. In fact, before I'd want Cure 2, I'd want Aura, so I can at least Aura Whirl if I need to.
Exactly.
Because that's an AoE heal. So Guardian is, like I said, he's a damage sponge if you come here early. Not necessarily a bad thing. We're gonna get through it, no problem. Then we get to go further into the dungeon and get some, a couple chests maybe, and then we'll come out of the dungeon and grab our key item.
Yeah, I think it's one chest only.
Yeah. Unless you happen to pull Pendant before you come here. You have Pendant, then you get access to, Magic Seal. Nice pull. So all the enemy drops are randomized too. So like all the items that we're finding in this run and all the equipment we're getting is going to be different each run. All these chests, that's a fantastic chest.
Yeah.
Red mail. That's fire protection in a run that has a fire-based boss. I'll tell you, I played the mobile version. I've beaten all the ports of Chrono Trigger, and the mobile version was maybe the hardest because catching that rat was so hard on touchscreen controls.
Oh, I can imagine. Oh, that was a fantastic chest right there.
Oh.
I actually ran too fast. I cannot believe I hit this encounter.
It's okay, maybe they're dropping something great like Mega Elixirs.
Yeah, might as well finish the encounter out. It's gonna be annoying that Chrono doesn't get XP here, but the encounter also doesn't really give that much, so... we can hope for something like, maybe Prism specs. No, okay, nothing.
Or even consumables or something. Oh, that was actually, we just needed just enough tech points to get Aura. That's why we took that extra fight. I love it. Anytime you make a mistake or something, you just say that, or you say, "Oh, I'm RNG manipulation for this upcoming room. I need Chrono's health to be low in this next
shout
boss."
outs to the top 3 of our first tournament there.
Yeah, Moon Blizzard, Corinth, and Zelfer are all great players.
Yep, I believe I was 4th in that tournament. I went pretty deep, but...
yeah, I think, 4th or 5th, somewhere way up there.
Yeah, we have a fantastic community. Cthulhu Crisis here has actually made a fantastic web guide that will help you through your first couple seeds to understand the logic, what key items and stuff do. Moon Blizzard has made a very extensive routing guide, routing and skips guide for all of the dungeons in the game.
Yeah, and it really is required watching for new runners. Oh, that's
I'm
Pendant.
sorry, that key item in this location is just awful.
Yeah, that's worst case scenario because Pendant does not unlock progression, and the only benefit you could get out of Pendant is if you went and charged it, you could get some sealed rooms that have extra high tier loot. One of which is in the dungeon we just left. So
yep.
And not very many runners charge the Pendant in Lost Worlds, though it's a little more common in Lost Worlds Plus. Because you get to keep all that extra gear, and the better your gear is for the second run, the quicker you'll smash through it at your high levels. So now we are headed to Son of Sun, which is why we did all that RNG manipulation. Because this fight is almost pure RNG. One of those 4 flames in a second here will be the one we have to attack. We have to wait for it to roulette the first time. And then we have to auto-attack these. And if it's wrong, then they'll attack or counterattack. If you pick the correct flame, it will do damage to the core. And we need to do damage to the core 10 times.
Wow, last one.
It's always the last one you check.
But that's gonna be a little rough with having Marley and Luca in the party here.
Yeah, Marl and Luca are both very slow characters, which actually hurts how powerful they are a little bit in Lost Worlds, because you don't get access to most of the speed tabs in the game. You only really get guaranteed access to like 2 speed tabs if you happen to go where they are.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get some from enemy drops or some chests, but there's no guarantee. So we're at 6. Might want to end up healing here. I actually don't remember if I got a Lapis drop or not. Okay, we did. We'll just use that for safety here, because I don't think I'm going to get the 10th hit in. I can get up to 9 here.
Yeah, and if...
Actually, this will be 8. I could have gotten up to 9. Yep, we're going to have to see a second roulette shuffle. So we healed just in case, because we might see a second flare here.
No, we can still get lucky and kill this pretty quick.
First try on the second round.
That's the one.
See, that should be 10, but we'll hit it again to make sure.
So once you've hit it 10 times, then you just have to wait. And sometimes it'll do other stuff, like use flare. Sometimes it'll just sit there.
Basically, if it's ATB filled before your 10th attack hit and dealt the damage, it'll still do whatever it was going to do. So it's not uncommon to see the second roulette shuffle and then see it die right afterward.
Speaking of speed tab,
yeah.
There's one now.
I'm also very excited for the helmet you picked up there, too.
All right.
I don't know if you caught what helmet we got.
Oh, which one was it?
Rainbow Helm.
Oh, okay. That gives resistance to... or absorption... no, resistance to lightning, right?
Yes. 50% reduction from lightning.
So it looks like we are heading towards Genodome. So at this point, that check was a little wasted, except that it had a speed tab, and it was a quick check, so it made sense to do it. But it was Dreamstone, which we'll actually need in our second run, and it doesn't carry over in New Game Plus. So, but now we know that it's there. We know in the second run we need to go to Sunset.
Yeah, it's actually kind of nice that it ended up dropping the speed tab in that location too, because since we're going to have to fight it again, we'll get an additional speed tab.
Yeah, and speed tabs are super nice. They can make or break certain fights, for sure.
Now, I actually should be checking if Lightning 2 one-shots these, but Chrono's magic stat is not good.
Yeah, he is definitely not designed to be a mage.
We're gonna have to heal Luca on the next fight here.
Did you equip up that Cali Blade too?
Yes, I did.
Cool. Yeah, so we are heading into Genodome. Genodome is interesting because it's all kind of a giant puzzle. There's a couple different methods for getting through Genodome. So I'm interested to see which method you plan on using.
I'm not going to go for the skip. I have not practiced it enough, and it's
very incredibly tight.
Alright, that was a fantastic tech to learn. Now I don't have to worry about damage quite as much here. We just have to worry about... Oh! That was rude. That was incredibly rude of the game there. So you're already starting to see where the low speed from Luca and Marley is a problem.
Yeah, unless we find some gear that'll help it, that's not going to get a whole lot better. but they do so much damage.
Yep.
And really, like, having Frog, the one benefit Frog does have in Lost Worlds that doesn't show through as much in a normal Jets randomizer scene is he does have a pretty high base speed. So there are times where I'll use Frog over somebody else because I need that speed or I want to have access to that speed. But with this team or these 4 characters, I don't blame you at all for going with this team.
Yeah, and I can make a routing decision after this. I'll probably actually want more levels anyway, since I didn't do too much grinding. So I might actually leave after the conveyor belt here and actually go and get a couple speed tabs.
Do you mind me if I throw in a donation?
Go for it.
Absolutely.
I have a $4 donation from Kelchan Virit. And they said, I know we're past 69.69 and 420, but 420 still counts, I think.
I would say it counts. Alright, this will also give us an opportunity to see how the magic tabs are in the seed.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a few different places that we can check out here in the Dark Ages, 12,000 BC. First place is in Hassa here, which holds a couple things that can be useful in some of these seeds. The secret book room, and also a shop that if you ever can't find ethers in a run, they're probably here.
Yeah, we are going to check it actually as well. We haven't found mid tonics yet. Marley has aura, so it's not the biggest deal, but mid tonics can still be very nice for like Chrono with his higher speed to be able to heal.
We had more gold, or if you had more gold, speed tab wouldn't, or not speed tab, speed belt wouldn't be too bad either. But they're so expensive, you almost just want to find them in a drop.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry, what were those drops there?
So alright, so you pulled a speed tab and a Mega Elixir, which the Mega Elixir pretty much makes Zeal a free fight. If you play it right. It's not free if you like play really badly, but it certainly makes it safer.
Oh yeah. That has to be some of the best drops I've seen from that new fight in quite a while. Alright, we're gonna take a sneak peek at this shop. Probably won't buy anything, because this is a endgame shop, but mostly here for this speed tab anyway.
Yeah, and it is hidden in the window in like the I did not know about that tab until I started playing this.
Yeah, I actually knew about it from vanilla. Ooh, that's a chief edge. I'll probably pick that up later unless I have enough to sell for it, which I don't think so. Not unless I sell the Mega Elixir, which we're not gonna do. It's not enough of an upgrade over the Collie Blade. Full tonics and mid-ethers, those are decent. Don't need barriers right now. We're just gonna pick up some mid-ethers. Those will be useful. And we're gonna go back through back to Genodome. I'm so used to hitting down to leave. It's like, no, you have to go through the teleporter first.
I do that all the time here. I also do it every time I enter Reptite Lair. I'm holding up to go into the dungeon, but that's the only dungeon.
Yeah, you enter from the bottom on the world map.
Yeah, and then the best part is when you beat the boss, and then you walk out the back door, and you're like, well, I could have just gone in the back.
Yeah.
3 speed tabs, that's pretty great.
Magic +3 isn't bad. I'm actually going to give it to Chrono. And the reason being for that is he just needs the help a lot more. Luca and Marley will just get so much more damage from... I could have skipped the conveyor here, but I'll actually take the experience. Alright, so now you can just see already how much faster Luca's acting with even just 2 more speed tabs.
Drop in a donation?
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Telechem donated a whopping $80. Okay, funny numbers over. Real donation begins now. Thank you so much.
Excellent.
So, what would the next funny number be?
That's a great question. I don't know if I have a good answer.
Could do 9696.
I think that is doable. I think we can definitely reach that number.
Going through the conveyor again here. Genodome is a really interesting dungeon because it does have a lot of strong encounters, which isn't really something that's a concern in most dungeons. But like the enemies in here can actually be a bit of a problem if you let them be, or if you come here too early. The boss is strong, but doesn't have a lot of health. But the longest part about it is the puzzles that you're gonna see in the dungeon. I always thought when I played in vanilla the puzzles were really cool. Oh, they're dropping mid-ethers too?
Yep, that's the other reason I decided to go through the conveyor again. Mid-ether is a fantastic drop. Yeah, and I am much more afraid of the regular encounters here than the boss.
They
100%.
lure you in. They give you this conveyor belt of one-shottable enemies with like, I don't know, 600 health or so. And then as soon as you walk into this room, all of these have like 200 or 300 extra health.
Yep. Yeah, I think the debuggers have 320. The protos have 640. You might be noticing a trend with the numbers for their HP. That was very cute of them to do. I actually really like that. And then you come in here and the Proto 4s have, what is it, 1280. It's like, it's twice as much as the conveyor belt enemies. It's crazy. Like, it's just a huge jump.
Yeah, like if you come in here and you're like, oh, well, this attack was killing the ones on the conveyor belt, it does not always kill the ones here.
Yeah.
So everything that you're going to see Janus do in this dungeon is kind of being done in a very particular order. And there are some reasons for that. There are certain things that are like a little bit timing based. But the biggest thing is just making sure you're clearing paths, because we're going to be like charging up our characters and using them to activate doors like the one on the left side of the screen here.
Yeah, this whole area is just very, very puzzle based. But it's really interesting.
It is. And so our goal here is we need 2 Puyozo dolls. Now, we just picked one up. Janus picked that up incredibly quickly. And then the second one is going to take a whole bunch of work. So, once we have both the dolls, we can turn those, or we can put those on pedestals later to access the boss. Speed check time.
Yep. And I was not expecting Luca to get her turn before Chrono was there, so I actually took extra damage.
So these turret encounters or laser encounters can be trouble because they can shoot through your character and hit each other, and if they take any damage and it doesn't kill, they explode, which can deal a really high amount of damage. So you have to act before them, and you have to do enough damage in one hit. And if you don't, it's gonna hurt.
Yep, and yeah, because if you don't do enough damage to kill them with magic, that will also trigger them to explode.
And if you've got, like, you might survive 1 or 2 exploding, but if you're in an encounter with 4 or 6 of them, you're not surviving that. I don't care what your HP is, unless you have amazing gear.
Yeah, and this is why we mentioned Aura being just typically what you want to see. Where's the magic? There it is. For 1 MP, Marley was just healing 400 HP there.
Wait, hold on now. There's a magic tab back there.
Yes, there is in fact a magic tab back there.
I've never seen anybody pick that tab up.
Yep, that's one of the really nicely hidden ones. Actually, I don't know if I was aware of that until I was practicing for my Midwest Speedfest run, because I was doing Chrono Sanity. So I was looking at all the random chest locations. And on one of the maps, I saw that there was a magic tab there. I'm just like, wait a second. That's new.
That's wild.
And it's I've been playing this game since, 95, 96, so...
And if you guys have any interest in Chrono Trigger Randomizer or speedrunning it or anything, definitely join the Discord. Look, we have a pretty good website that has the Discord and everything, and it's just such a good way to get into this. And like we've said, our community is just so good to everybody. So here, you'll notice Janus kind of locked that robot up in a certain spot there, and then sprinted around back to where we got this first doll. This is one of those things that I was talking about, why Janus did things in a certain order. Was that speed tab doesn't spawn for like 20 seconds after you pick up the doll.
Don't be stuck. I hate this robot.
Yeah.
Right, we're gonna go grab the robot again. So we'll trigger this encounter.
Yeah, that's the worst. There's a couple spots that robot can get stuck in.
Yeah, unfortunately, like, your characters are considered solid for purposes of, like, NPC movement, which is actually the basis of a skip in a couple places. But it unfortunately can also help push helpful NPCs.
Yeah, it is kind of weird, because most games just make your front character have
collision.
Have collision. This game decides all 3 of your characters need to have collision.
Yeah, only your front one has collision for the purposes of, like, encounters, but all of your characters have collision for other things.
This robot.
Yeah, for, like, NPCs. It's It's a strange way of doing it, but oh well.
We just wanted to show this trick off again, so...
This time I'm gonna, like, it's a little bit safer to go this way, but it's definitely faster and more efficient to do it the other way, because you want to pick up that speed tab. But yeah, just like every game, pretty much every game that has an escort mission, this one is much like the others. It's a little tedious. But you do need the robot.
Yeah, so that locks up that other robot, so we can grab our second Pyozo doll, and we can head back upstairs, and we're gonna go fight Mother Brain. Not that Mother Brain.
We got the lowest roll of power tabs, unfortunately, but actually speed tab we'll use on Marley.
Alright, so no Atropos fight in Jets of Time. So we don't have to fight anything there. We can grab another tab and a few chests here.
Alright, that was a fantastic chest. Speed belt is one of the best accessories in the game.
Yeah, especially for this team. That's gonna get us antipoding even quicker. I keep saying us. This is definitely you. I'm not doing anything. I'm just talking.
I mean, we're all here for the fun, so I'd say it counts. How did that turret not explode?
Oh wow, I don't know.
Like, I'm very okay with it, but I don't know how that didn't trigger the explosion there.
So we get one more of those laser fights that we love so much. Still getting our techs. You're probably pretty close to having all your techs.
That turret just shot itself.
I don't remember ever seeing that.
Like, I've seen it before, but it's more likely to shoot its friends.
Yeah.
Oh, don't you dare.
See, this is what we talked about earlier. If you don't outspeed and you don't kill them, they start blowing up, and then it doesn't take much for this fight to get out of hand. And then you're doing all 4 of those lasers again.
Yeah.
Because you're back to the save point. A lot of times you'll see new runners saving between the turrets. Just because there's so much time if you don't.
Let's use that magic tab.
So
Probably
Mother
not
Brain...
actually gonna use Chrono for this fight, basically.
Mother Brain here does not have a whole lot of HP. And the big mistake a lot of new runners do is they want to hit this whole encounter with a big, tasty AoE, and if they don't have high enough damage, if you destroy those 3 monitors, yes, it stops the healing, but Mother Brain gets very upset about it, and she starts doing an attack that eventually will do more than 1,000 damage.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually show off what you can do if you don't have as much damage, and then I'm gonna proceed to output a bunch of damage with an AoE. But the panels can actually be statused. It's a little hard to see with the color palette, but they are actually all asleep.
Yeah, and that stops them from healing, and gives you time to kind of breathe during this fight.
Yeah, fortunately Luca got chaosed there, so we're actually gonna finish the fight this way too. But yeah,
oh no!
But with the displays, like, Mother Brain will only do, like, basic, mini, little, like, small amounts of damage, like, basic attacks. Like, that was Laser Spin, which didn't do that much.
Yeah,
if I had used an
won't.
AoE to kill all the displays, she would have done about 300 to 400 damage there instead.
Ooh, a gold earring drop is pretty nice. That's plus 50% HP to whatever character you equip it to.
All right, we got the ruby knife there. So we're gonna have to do the last dungeon. Here we have the full Monty.
All right. Well, that means you will have plenty of XP. So now we are off to my favorite dungeon, Mount Woe. And that's one of the things that's so cool, I think, about Lost Worlds Plus is different players do things in such a different order. Like this seed, I probably would have started off with Guardian, and then I would have went probably to Reptite and then Woe. So you went to Woe when I would have gone, or you went to Genodome when I would have gone to Woe. Neither of those is wrong. It's just a gamble you're hoping pays off.
Yeah, and it's like in both of the cases, Woe and Genodome are both kind of longish. I tend to go to Genodome first just because the encounters are more forced, because you have to take them. Whereas in Mount Woe, if you have good experience, you can just run away from everything.
Yeah, both. I agree with you there, and they're also both dungeons known for dropping really good loot. I think Woe probably has better loot, or more of it. Probably just more chances. I love, if I have a team that can do Mount Woe here, like second, that's the dream, because I'll learn every tech for my whole run. So we are heading up to Mount Woe, and at the top of Mount Woe, we will face Giga Gaia, who's a big, mean boss. But we won't have any trouble with him on with this team. This team does so much damage. And it's all like so much good AoE damage, and that's all you need to take down Giga Gaia. So Mount Woe has quite a few encounters, and you're usually, sometimes you'll take the fights to see what the drops are, or if you need the XP or the tech points. Otherwise, every encounter on this whole dungeon is runnable, except for maybe a couple. So you're able to run from them if you need to.
Yeah, let's see. Our levels, we're at 28, so we're actually pretty much at endgame levels. So we're just going to grab some of the chests that are not super far out of the way, because like Thulu was mentioning earlier, it has some of the highest tier loot in the game.
Yeah, this, in Lost Worlds or Lost Worlds Plus, this is really your biggest chance at getting the best equipment in the game. Every once in a while, you'll pull something crazy somewhere else, but like that's the Crisis Arm and Moon Armor. Moon Armor's really nice because it's a massive magic defense armor with great physical defense too. But that Crisis Arm, we would really want that if we had Robo.
Yeah, I am very, very sad. Like, just like a practice run I had earlier. It's another seed where I got a Crisis Arm with no Robo, because it is Robo's best weapon, and you can output some astonishing numbers with it if you know how it works. Should have refilled Luca's MP here. Alright, this fight is starting to not go very well. I was going to see what the Phantom Nibs drops.
Fair enough.
But
sometimes you have to give that up to survive.
Yep. Like, thankfully, I happened to have a green dream on Chrono, just because it was the first accessory in my inventory when I was moving the bandana over to Luca. But
it's really not a bad spot for it.
yeah.
And there are some skips on WoW that you can do for some encounters, but a good chunk of these encounters, like this one, you can't avoid, and there's going to be a few others we're not going to be able to avoid. Which is, I think, part of why people don't like Mount WoW very much, is there's not a whole lot of skips you can do to save time. It's just getting the run glitch off here, which what you keep seeing is, in this game, in wait mode, you have an ATB and so does the enemy. Well, when you run, it fills up a separate run ATB. When you're holding the run buttons and then you open your tech menu, you can wait for the invisible run meter to fill up and then go out of the menu, and it just stops the enemy from attacking and interrupting. So I don't think I'm explaining it very well, but it's a good way to get out of an encounter without getting attacked.
Oh, and that is why we check chests.
Yes. Prism specs are a 50% increase in all damage done by a character, which is massive.
Yeah, I would say it's the best accessory in the game. There's 2 more chests here. And then very soon we'll be done with all of the encounters on this mountain besides the boss.
And then it's just a matter of getting through the first go mode, beating that in-game boss, and then remembering where the things we need are. Ooh, Prism dress. Can't we get a Prism helm to just have a full set?
Yeah, that'd be nice. Prism helm is one of the best helmets in the game as well.
One of the rare non-accessories that gives status protection, which for certain bosses, especially Lavos, can be crucial.
Gonna actually make sure to fully heal here. Shouldn't actually need that much MP because we are going to make use of those prism specs. Actually upgrade some of our equipment that we haven't done.
Get all equipped up here, and then Alu's gonna step in.
Yeah, I would like to welcome all the new viewers joining. We are our Team Fastest Fur. We are a group of furry speedrunners dedicated to build a strong community that is welcoming and open to all. We're currently hosting 2 online charity speedruns marathon per year, and the spring and fall and ongoing community events throughout the year. We are currently also, once again, raising money for Trans Lifeline. Trans Lifeline Hotlines is a peer support service run by trans people for trans and questioning callers. Their operators are located all over the United States and Canada and are all trans identified. If you're in a crisis or just need someone to talk to, definitely go visit translifeline.org/hotline to learn how you can connect. And yeah, enjoy the speedrun.
Thank you very much. This has been such an awesome event to watch the last few days, and just all the support has just been amazing. So I just as a guest, I've just been blown away by how everything's been.
Yeah, so you just saw those damage numbers were quite high, and that's because not only does Antipode 3 boost Flare's damage output. But the Prism Specs then boosts the combined damage even farther.
I love Giga Gaia. His design is so goofy. He's probably the most, somehow at the same time, he's the most Final Fantasy and the most Toriyama boss in this game at the same time. And I don't know how he pulls it off.
Yeah, definitely one of my favorite bosses for aesthetics, for sure. I just love the face he makes too. It's been an emote in several servers or several channels and servers.
So now that we have all of the key items, we have a full set. You don't need a full set. You just need the clone and chrono trigger. But this happens. It happens. And honestly, one of the things I like most about Lost Worlds Plus is that when you do have what would in other categories be a bad seed like this, where you've done all the checks available, that's all giving you extra gear, extra gold, extra XP, tech points, and all of that carries over to the second half of the run, which in a race setting means if somebody finishes it in half the checks of you, then you may still make up time on the second run just from the extra stuff you did. So even though it costs you some time on this first run, everything makes you stronger for that second run.
Yeah, much like a lot of RPGs, the damage formula favors levels over almost everything else. It's just some of the biggest contribution to damage. Little known fact, you actually don't have to talk to this Piezo doll to make the tree. It blocks the wind just fine.
And in fact, it's easier if you don't, I think.
Yep. There was a power tab over to the right there, but I decided not to go for it because the power tabs rolled the lowest amount.
So now we are heading up Death's Peak. Death's Peak is a pretty interesting dungeon. There are a lot of encounter skips, and there's just one boss. In vanilla, you'll remember you fight the lava spawn several times. In the randomizer, it's just consolidated into one big fight, and it works out really nice.
Yeah, it's all the lava spawns have the same stat line because they're all baby lava spawns. So instead of fighting one in this room and then 2 other times, you only fight the one at the very top, which is very nice.
Ooh, Rainbow Helm.
Yeah, that is our 3rd Rainbow Helm, actually. Which is very nice.
Because they look great on the mantle.
Yes. Well, they're also very nice for the Zeal fight, for a particular reason.
Which... That was expertly done.
Right, there is a chest and save point down here that some people don't know about.
That's very true. A lot of people don't know. So this is Elder Lavos, or no, this is just regular Lavos spawn. We probably don't want to use AoE unless we have to, but sometimes you have to with certain teams. Because if you hit the spines on its back, then it does a massive counterattack. So you either do big single target damage to the beak until it's dead, or you do AoEs and healing and you just push through.
Yeah, if I was using Frog or had Robo for their AoE heals, I would maybe consider doing the healing strategy, but
Yeah, or if I pulled like 5 Lapises and I didn't think I was going to need them later, maybe.
yeah.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. You want an AoE.
Yeah, and unfortunately, all 3 of the antipodes, well, antipode 3 is a full screen AoE. Tabin Suit's a very, very good drop here too. But Antipode 1 and Antipode 2 are actually small AoEs, so they would both hit the shell as well.
Sorry, chat is upset that you killed that porcupine. I'm pretty sure it's a large tick.
Yeah, it is unfortunately a planet-draining parasite, so...
Yeah. I never thought about what Lavos was until one day in somebody's random stream, they were running jets, and they said, somebody didn't know what the game was, and they were like, what's that thing, a big tick? And I'm like, actually, I think it is.
And also, it's actually really funny that we have this party here at the summit because of the story significance of this area in vanilla.
Yeah, absolutely.
No spoilers if you don't know, but play vanilla. It's a powerful moment.
It is a powerful. It's a powerful game. So right now, this is not what would happen in vanilla. Some people are probably noticing that. Not Blackbird, the Black Omen is appearing. And that is going to be our end game dungeon for run number 1. That's going to take us through a gauntlet of bosses, ending with our epic battle against Zeal. Beating Zeal is what triggers unlocking New Game Plus, so we need to do that first. Then we're gonna New Game Plus. We're gonna grab those items from the dungeons. I'm sure you made notes of where they were, and then we'll talk about that a little bit. We'll talk about that second run when we get there. For now, we're heading into this late game dungeon. And we shouldn't have any trouble.
Can I just drop in a quick donation?
Absolutely.
Wonderful. We have a $100 donation by Sporadic Erratic. Wanted to get a donation in during one of my favorite game of all time. If only they made it so you can hug a new. Trans rights, let's unlock Deltarune. Yeah, for people that don't know, there is a incentive to unlock a bonus game Deltarune. And we are, let me double check on the update. We are around almost 3/4 of the way there. Definitely check that out.
So we might not be able to hug a new in the game, but I do have this adorable new plush sitting by my SNES.
Oh, news are so cute.
Yes.
I think one of my favorite pieces of little tiny pieces of lore from this game is that the news stole a bunch of the tabs that they were inventing and just decided to hide them all over the place, and that's why they're hidden in the game. Like, they needed a reason they're there, and the news just ran it, and they think it's fun to hide stuff. That's great.
Yep. And remember, all life begins with new, and all life ends with new.
And the second half of this run is New Game Plus.
Ha!
Wow.
That's awful. I'm sorry, I'll see myself out.
No, don't go, coach.
Don't go, coach.
Someone wants you to hug the plush.
When I get an opportunity, I will.
You know what? I gotta say, for 100% seed so far, you are making great time. We are just over an hour into this run, and we're in the dungeon that's gonna have us finishing the first run.
Yeah, that is not a bad time at all.
No. No, it is not. Well, I wonder if these sidekicks are dropping anything good.
We will never know, unfortunately.
Oh no.
It's so hard to kill that, like...
with
How
this
did I
team
go
and no
fast
weapons.
enough to get this encounter? I have never seen that. I actually went too fast. Usually that mutant that I ran under turns to the left. So you
Yeah.
run around it and you skip this encounter. I have never seen that.
Usually if you get that encounter, it's because you went too slow.
Yeah. I have never gotten that encounter by going too fast before.
Everyone on your speedrun bingo cards, never seen that happen before, can be marked now.
Alright, we're at the first of two teleporters. About a third of the way through the dungeon now.
Yep. And we're gonna have 3 bosses before the final boss Gauntlet. We'll kind of talk about each one before we get to each one. This is also an interesting section. This is the elevator in Black Omen, and the number of encounters you get here and which encounters you get here are random.
Yep, you can get 0, 1, 2, or 3 encounters on both elevators.
Ooh, magic tap on the not goons. And these ruminators are interesting because for some reason they decided that this entire dungeon needed to be resistant to shadow and light magic or lightning magic.
Yeah, most of the enemies in here absorb shadow and absorb lightning. These goons being the worst of them.
Yes.
Because they have 1,000 to 1,500 HP. It's a very high HP total. So the question in chat, 0 would be the best. In the 100% speedrun, you actually want exactly 1 encounter for the TP route.
In Jets, the ideal
Jet
number
0
would be
is
0. In those, they're dropping just something incredible. The dumpsters or something.
Ooh, Hyper Ether is good. Yeah, there's some really good loot in the Omen here. This room's funny. You skip all the encounters by just running up.
I've never had somebody explain that room to me that way, and I've also never skipped that room, so...
Yeah, you literally just have to run up at the beginning part
I
of
am
that
learning
room.
so much from this run, and I've been playing for a year now.
Alright. what do we have here? Safe helms are good. Full ethers are good. There's a lot of good options.
Great
here.
consumables. Like, fantastic consumables. One thing that we haven't really talked about, so because of the way New Game Plus works in this game, it actually has a really nifty side effect, and that is it loads off the last save point before the final boss. So when we New Game Plus, any consumables that we used during that final boss, we get back for the second run. So like, you could use 6 Mega Elixirs against Zeal, and you're still gonna have 6 Mega Elixirs when you go to Lavos. Which is really handy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Tubsters here are actually a palette swap of an early game boss that we don't see in this category. So a lot of people think they're a boss, but they're just a regular enemy.
But they are handsome.
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's a tight room. Like, that's a tight gap to run into.
Come on, close your eye.
These eyeballs, for some reason, we recently learned a few months back that we can run into the side of those eyeballs, and they seem to close their eyes quicker when you do that by a significant amount.
Yeah, it's a really interesting quirk. All NPCs, like, their scripting goes faster when you run into them. And these enemies, you'll only get into the encounter if they see you, so you can just run into them.
Yeah.
But there's actually a couple cutscenes in the vanilla speedrun that you speed up by running into an NPC.
Yeah, I think the Melchior one, I remember.
Yep, Melchior is the biggest one, because you can do that in glitchless and glitched. And then the Chancellor transforming into Yakra, you can speed up if you're doing a glitched speedrun, because you're not locked in place, because of the save anywhere glitch.
Oh, yeah.
So you can actually make him transform faster.
That's cool.
So it also means you can actually grab the mid-ether in vanilla from the right chest.
Oh, okay. Did you speedrun vanilla too?
I'm in the process of learning it. I've learned some of the glitches and stuff. They're super fun to pull off.
I did a glitch versus glitchless Jets race against Keith Ketchum once, where it was like we didn't turn on the glitchless flag, and he's a vanilla speedrunner, so he was allowed to do whatever tricks he had up his sleeve, and I just didn't know any of them. It was a fun race. Another Prism Specs.
Another Prism
and a gold
Specs.
stud.
It's my second gold stud too, which is also crazy. As much as I want to use the gold stud, we're gonna just go double Prism Specs here. We will use a gold stud on Chrono.
Yeah, this is not a bad setup.
I am not wanting for good accessories. It'd be nice if I had a little bit better consumable situation. We're starting to run low, but we can buy more in the second run too, if need be. Alright, so now with double Prism Specs, let's see how much this Antipode 3 does.
Antipode 3 should do pretty nicely here.
Yeah, so Chrono did 800 there, which is nice, but compare it to this. Yeah, 3,300.
Antipode 3 is, I believe, the strongest AoE in the game. In Jets, at least.
For dual techs, absolutely. I don't have any heals, do I? I've not gotten a random heal drop.
There's certainly... For dual techs, Frog Flare may, under perfect circumstances, beat it too.
Yes, Frog Flare is the most powerful dual tech, and the third most powerful tech in the game, period. If Frog is at 1 HP.
Yeah. I think it can do over 8,000 in vanilla.
Yes.
Marl decided it's nap time.
Yep. Alright, even just Flare was doing 1,800 damage there, so... Which is what most of the damage from...
So that was the first mutant fight here. Next up, we will get a second mutant. That's a little bit scarier, the Terra mutant. And then Elder Lavos spawn. And then we're at the final boss Gauntlet for the first run here.
Yep, I actually think the Terra mutant, with that amount of damage I just put out, shouldn't actually be that bad. I will probably get to skip Obstacle, which doesn't happen nearly as often with HP change.
Alright, Elevator 2.
Perfect! No encounters on the second elevator.
That's how we do it.
Oh, I should have put the gold stud on Luca, because I do not need the, I don't need plus 50% damage for the regular encounters. I would much rather conserve MP here. This room we cannot run from any of the encounters. We can do a skip on the second encounter. I have just so many gold studs. Let's just use one here. Wow, I actually ran too far to the right. Whoops. Well, I guess we get a little more experience. That one's actually kind of a tricky one. You have to position it correctly. And then time it well in order to skip that encounter. Because if you touch the bats, you get the encounter.
Yeah, bat skip can definitely be tricky.
At least since we have Luca, all these fights are very, very fast. If you have memory cursor on, or your tech cursor on memory, and Luca goes first, and she uses Flare for every encounter, you save a whopping 5 minutes or so throughout the entirety of the Omen. It's kind of a mind-blowing amount of time that it saves from one-shotting all of the encounters.
Do you like Black Omen or Ocean Palace more as a dungeon?
The dungeons themselves, really hard to say. Probably Ocean Palace a little bit more because you don't get the random battle music. It just plays the awesome background music the entire time.
Oh, that's a really good point. I never consciously noticed that, but that's awesome.
Yeah, it's one of the really cool design choices that they made. It's the same with Magus's Castle. The haunting melody never stops. You only get that. Now we're going to switch back to the prism specs, because we want to do as much damage as possible for the mutant fight here.
And this mutant fight can be tricky. You guys are about to see Terra Mutant get taken down pretty simply, I believe. This fight can be brutal if you don't have great gear or if you have subpar damage. If he gets to the point where he's throwing dodgeballs at you, you're in trouble.
Yep. Like, thankfully, the Terra Mutant fight is scripted. However, that script is still very dangerous. And it's made even worse by the Terra Mutant absorbing HP from the bottom half every once in a while. And also that Antipode did a massive amount of damage. It would have pretty much one-shot it before the HP change. You didn't notice it before. Yeah, 4,900 damage. Absolutely incredible. Alright, and this is where the game does something rather rude to you.
Yes. So this game is very nice everywhere about giving you a save point before every boss. And then sometimes it just decides not to.
Yep, so as you'll see, we just fought a boss. You just walk down this corridor, and suddenly, here's another boss.
Yeah, and usually I always tell new players, like, whenever you see a save point, save, because there's going to be a boss right nearby. And then stuff like this happens, where they give you 2 in a row and they don't tell you, and there's nothing worse than forgetting to save and then wiping to this fight by accident, and then having to redo both.
Yeah.
So we have a question in chat about what's Lost Worlds Plus. Lost Worlds Plus is a category where you have limited access, so you only have access to the future, Dark Ages, and prehistory at the start. And we're going to do a seed where we're going to come through Black Omen like we are now, beating Zeal, and then we're going to New Game Plus to go back and beat Lavos too. So it's currently the only category that uses New Game Plus.
I'm just gonna drop another donation if that's okay with you guys.
Oh, of course.
We have a $50 donation from Default XS. Hello and welcome all the new viewers. Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for that donation.
Now this is actually a team that, like, luckily you've got good enough damage here. And Chrono has pretty good single target damage. But really, this is a team that's not great at single target bosses like this.
Yeah, that is one of the downsides of this team, for sure. Thankfully, we can at least use Antipode 2 on Zeal 2, because the hands are far enough apart. But it is a little unfortunate. I should have Lapis. I do not have Lapis. Okay. Alright, we're gonna actually make use of Aura Whirl here.
Alright. You don't get to see it very often, but it's probably the most efficient heal, like, mana-wise, or magic-wise.
Yeah,
Because I think it only costs like
total.
1 and 1, or 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's 1 and 2, and then the other one is Slurp Kiss, which is also 1 and 2. But usually Aura Whirl heals more because Marley has a much better magic stat than both Isla and Frog.
They also kind of try to trick you here. Because you, like, walk into this next room and then you want to just keep going, and they give you 1 encounter and then a save point.
Yep. Oh yeah, our levels are
Yeah.
Very, very high. Just fine.
Our levels are high for Lavos, and we
Yep.
aren't there yet. This second run is going to be fast. Keep in mind, we're just over an hour and 20 minutes into this run. And,
Double checking that I saved there. It's
yeah.
really important.
Yes. And now we are heading into the final boss gauntlet for the first run.
Alright, will I one-shot Zeal1? Maybe?
If you use
I'll
your triple
definitely-
tech.
I'll
Use your
definitely
triple
one
tech.
around it. That'll do less damage.
No. But it's so flashy.
It is. Alright, let's see if we actually one-shot Zeal2. We'll definitely one-rounder. Oh yeah, that's a one-shot. Nice. Perfect. Alright, if you want to explain what I just did there.
Yeah, so that's the menu glitch, and hopefully we're going to see that twice. So there's a couple transitions in the game where you can do an input to the menu. Like, I don't know why it works, but something about it transitioning, you have a very short window that you can open the menu, and from there you can do things like heal, fill up a magic, equip different items, or even if you click a different button, you can even switch party members during that transition.
So you might be wondering why I just stood there for a little bit. They did make a change to the Mammon machine to make it less likely to one-round it. So to be safe, any magic damage makes that real energy release that it did do more damage.
Yeah. For fans of other video games, Mammon machine used Bide.
Yes.
So we waited out Bide and then we hit it hard.
Yeah, there's a good chance with the damage output I have that I would have been able to outrace it, but if I make the mistake, I have to fight Zeal1 and do the menu glitch again, because I will wipe. As it was, it already halved my HP. I didn't equip rainbow helms and stuff. Oh well.
So let's talk about Zeal 2 here. So Zeal 2 is going to be the final boss of this first run. And you're going to see it's like a masquerade mask and two hands. Ideally, you don't want to hit the hands because they do counterattacks. So we're going to be hitting the the face as hard as we can, and if everything goes right, which I think it will, we need to do 10,000 damage before a certain part in Zeal's script, or she uses her ultimate attack. If we can deal enough damage quick enough, then we can avoid that. And you'll know, because if you see Hexagon Mist, that's bad. If you see Halation, then things are going well for the fight.
Yeah, ideally we don't even see Dark Gear in this fight.
We're just they're just going to hit with their hardest single target text, single target text that they have, and just try to get off that damage as quick as possible. Chrono hitting for about just under 1,600 damage is a pretty good start. But Zeal is really choosing to be a jerk.
Well, thankfully, Thankfully, Luca has lived both times. Alright, here's the dart gear. So we have to really push damage now.
Yeah, because after Dark Gear, the auto attacks that Zeal does are kind of randomish. But the techs we can kind of watch for a program.
Yeah, the hand will do kind of random things. The Zeal 2's main phase has a script that she goes through.
Yeah, so the next thing we're gonna see is either going to be Hexagon Mist or Halation, depending how much damage Janus has gotten off.
Yeah, we should be fine here. Luca's gotten off three mega bombs. Haste helps a lot in this fight. Whoops, I should have done Ice Sword too. Oh well. I'm just gonna heal Chrono to be safe. Yeah, so we are past the halfway point now. Nice.
So yeah, that
and the laser hit.
it seems like Halation would be really bad because it knocks your whole party down to 1 health. But because it's predictable, we can kind of just handle it, and then ideally we have a Mega Elixir we can use to just get everybody healed up and their MP refilled to finish off this fight.
Alright, then there's the scripted MP buster afterward as well. So now we're going to use the Mega Elixir.
And it is it's a gamble to do it that way, but because you had healed Chrono and then the auto attack went off on Chrono, that was a perfect play.
Yeah. Sadly, we can't take that Mega Blast and Amulet with us. So yeah, this is the end of the first one.
So the time continues. We don't stop the timer or anything. As soon as it transitions into the credits here, we're going to restart the game.
Yep, now we have this fancy New Game Plus button.
And that's going to start us off in the exact same way, but we're going to keep our XP. We're going to keep a lot of our gear. There's certain things that don't carry over. We will not keep our key items or our characters. So Janus is going to have to go grab those characters, gear back up, and then for this particular run, you know where you need to go. You know what dungeons you need to do.
Have to redo that menuing at the beginning. But yeah, you can just see already, we have tons of HP and MP because we have all the levels that carried over.
And sometimes you'll get into a second run and you'll go, oh no, when you realize, I don't know if Tabin Suit carries over for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of an event item, so it might not.
I think there's like 15 or 16 items in the whole game that are equipment. So for the most part, we're gonna get to keep our stuff.
Alright, so now we're gonna go and grab Chrono. And we have to go back to the future because both the key items that we're looking for are in the future.
So back to Dactyl Nest, go grab Chrono, and then off to the future.
Yeah, and fun fact if you didn't know, you can actually use the runaway trick to set up memory. your tech memory. So once you input using the tech, it'll run away if it's full. I actually forget what some of these regular chests were, but they're not far out of the way. Yeah, a couple tonics, those are fine.
Now, while that team did well through Black Omen, especially thanks to the levels, wow, that was slick. This team that we're gonna end up with here is even better, I think, at Lavos Go mode. So I think this will be really interesting. Wow. Those are
looking a lot
perfect skips. And you nailed them like they were nothing. That is skill.
Yeah. Yeah, the pause buffering really helps there, but even then, they're still super tricky because they are, again, actual pixel perfect.
Yeah, there's not a great visual cue to look for. You just kind of have to know what 2 pixels looks like.
Yep. Alright, I think there is another good item here. I think it's a barrier. Don't really need that, but it's good enough to have. And that chest is super, super, super quick to grab.
Alright, we're gonna see the gear coming out now.
Yep, we do not get to keep the tapping suit, which is unfortunate, but it's fine. So you'll see this fight for Son of Sun be a lot faster and a lot more reasonable. And the reason for that is this time we have haste.
Yeah, haste is night or day for this section. Still need a little, or we don't even need good luck with haste.
Yep. Yeah, we almost one-cycled it with the worst luck last time. This time we have enough speed. There we go. Also, I think I have the Gradius on Luca, so hopefully we see some quad 9s. Not that it does anything, it's just cool. Because this is the only way I think you can see quad 9s in Chrono Trigger. And the reason for that is the Gradius has a % chance of having the enemy's HP instead of doing its regular damage.
Now, if you're playing the Steam or DS version, Robo has an arm, the Apocalypse arm, that has something like a 5% chance to do quad 9s.
Yeah, I'd have to look what its crit rate is. When you crit with it, it's a guaranteed quad 9. Star Ayla, which is the max level Ayla, her fist that she gets for that, actually I think it's level 97 and up, also does quad 9s on a crit.
Somebody once came up with the idea of a run where in Jets you race to do 9999 to Crawley in the sewers. That's the category.
Alright, I haven't actually been counting hits, but that should be enough. Can't imagine I haven't done 10. Yeah, there we go.
So, well executed Son of Sun fight. That's a fight that becomes less scary the more you do it. Like when you first start running any of these categories, Son of Sun sometimes is a bit scary without gear that prevents fire damage. but you get better and better at it.
Alright, I definitely overbought on shelters, but it is fine.
Yeah, it's not gonna cause any trouble.
See, I'm gonna use that speed tab on Luca here. And we just have to go through Genodome.
Now, did you get anything great in Genodome? Like, is that where you got the Tabin suit or anything?
I actually forget where exactly I got that.
Fair enough.
It was a drop from some enemy. Yeah, that's one of those things that'd be better. It'd be good to know a lot better where that came from, but we'll make do. And this time you'll probably see, we'll definitely one-shot Mother Brain.
I'm telling you, we gotta see the triple tech. I know the triple tech will one-shot her.
Yeah, with 2 prism specs, that should do enough. We'll see.
Maybe we'll get a 3rd prism spec in here. That'd be awful nice.
Getting some nice mid-ether drops here, too.
So we are about an hour and 40 minutes into this run, and we are in the 2nd run. So once Janus finishes Mother Brain here at Genodome, then we just have Tyranno Lair to Ocean Palace to the final boss, which really, that sounds like a lot. It's really not that much. Tyranno Lair, when executed well, is a very fast dungeon. And the hardest thing about Tyranno Lair, or the longest thing about Tyranno Lair in a normal run, is the amount of health that he has. With these levels and this damage, we're going to stomp through Tyranno.
Yeah, you'd think so.
The enemy of my enemy. Someone in chat said, there's a debugger, but you fight buggers too. Shouldn't the debugger be on your side? This is such a neat dungeon, though.
That's right. Almost forgot to beat up these debuggists first.
So they're not debuggers. They're the debuggist.
Yep.
Is that what their name is?
Yep, those are the debuggists. Yep. They went with a theme here. Oh, I know this chest was relatively good. Oh, green dream. We don't need another one of those. Alright, use a shelter here, just to get some MP back. I actually don't know if Chrono's strong. He should be strong enough. These things are weak to magic. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't have any trouble, I don't think.
Wish the power tabs were worth more.
Can I just give a reminder to everyone?
Absolutely.
Do you know that all revenue from Twitch subscription and cheer bits received during Fastest for Fall Fest will be donated to Trans Lifeline? go fast and get yourself our fastest furry emotes now, and don't forget to check and see if you have your free Twitch Prime Gaming sub too. Those would definitely help. Or if you would like to make a donation, be sure to assign it to an incentive or a bid war. Help unlock some with our finals bonus game, Delta Ruin, or some cool runner showcase or add-on to the runs that's coming up next. Or just put your own personal stamp on a run. There are some bid wars and incentives coming up. You can still see all of our active incentives and their progress on the donation page. So for a list of all upcoming incentives and bid wars, use the command !incentives in chat. Thank you.
Alright, so the conveyor is switched. So now Janus will go back, charge up the character, and run through to go get our robot friend again. Maybe he'll be more cooperative this time.
Yeah, we can hope so.
I think we might have a baker's dozen of rainbow helms now. So again, kind of trapping the robot in that area, running around here, grab the speed tab. That gives the robot time to walk through the nubs to the right here that you'll see.
Yeah, the robot kind of just no clips through those. We can't run through those. The robot can just go right past them.
And that is perfect. Anytime that robot bumps into a wall, you hold your breath for a second, I think.
Yep. Yeah, there's like 2 or 3 different corners I've had it get stuck on before. I don't think there was anything super great in those chests. Yeah, again, that laser guard just didn't explode from its friend shooting it.
Well, at least it's friendly twice.
Yeah.
So, heading into Mother Brain, which on a second run in Lost Worlds Plus, a lot of times is going to be a one-shot. Definitely feels nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Mother Brain has, I think it's actually the same HP total as Guardian. I think only 2,500.
Yeah, I think
maybe
you're
she
right.
has 3,000, but it's not really anything more than that.
I think it's 25 because I've one-shot her with a drop kick before at like 26.
Yeah, it's 25. It's just a puzzle boss to do it.
Oh yeah, we're getting Delta Force. The best graphics the Super Nintendo had to offer.
Gives me a chance to fix my headset, dude. Been slipping down a little bit. Oh yeah, 4,600 damage. With the
That should do it.
Effects. Oh, thank you to that anonymous gifter for 50 gift subs. Wow.
That is incredible.
Holy cow.
That person really likes that triple tech. So now we are off to Tyranno Lair. The reason we have to do Tyranno Lair is there is actually a sealed door in Zeal that leads to the Ocean Palace, and it doesn't open until you've completed Tyranno Lair. So, to complete Tyranno Lair, we need the Dreamstone. That's why we came to grab the Dreamstone. And then we also need the Ruby Knife. So, we've got both of those now. We beat this dungeon. We head into the final dungeon and complete the run.
Yep, so these first 3 encounters in this dungeon, we can't skip in any way, but we can just run away from them. Yeah, this dungeon also has fantastic music. Skip that encounter. Running left here actually skips an encounter. This one, go up here, and then run down here. That actually skipped like 3 different encounters.
Yeah, Janus is making this look easy. Let me assure you, it is not.
I always get these buttons mixed up because it's the opposite button in Giant's Claw.
Yeah, so Giant's Claw is a dungeon in 600 AD that is this dungeon in reverse, with every choice being the opposite choice. So it makes learning the routing really interesting. And keeping track of it is the hardest part.
Didn't get that skip. That one's really tricky. Alright, Nisball 2. Who knows whether...
Nisball. I think he's a funny design.
Yeah.
Big buff dinosaur.
You know what? I actually want to see how much this does to Nisball as well.
We are in the second run. You can get through the whole thing with that.
Look at that damage. Wow, didn't one-shot it. Close, though. Have to use a Luminaire super quick.
This has been a great run so far with incredible gear. And you make short work of Nisball 2.
Alright, this room looks really cool when you do it correctly.
Oh my goodness. That is, let me tell you folks, that right there, that room that Janus sprinted through like nothing, that is the hardest encounter skips probably in the run. Like, other than Dactyl that's just really precise, those are really tricky to learn.
Yeah, that movement skipped like 5-ish encounters, 5 or 6 encounters.
And it's not like straight movement anywhere. It's like, we call it, on the left side, V skip, or some people call it W skip for the whole area. But that was smooth. So the question is, what number will Tyranno count to before he is dead?
Maybe 4. Depends how quickly he lowers his defense, I think. If he does it right away, he might get to 4.
Oh, because haste.
Yeah.
Because
This is
you're
going to be
gonna
over real quick.
Delta Force.
Like, to be honest, he might not get to 5. And that's the first number he counts to. Got 4,500 damage. Oh, he got to 5. Okay. We'll see if he gets to 4.
Yeah, for sure.
It also depends on what the random HP total is.
He is
There we
not
go.
having a good day. That'll do it. So, sorry if you went to get a drink of water or a restroom break. Tyranno Lair's done now. Pretty much perfectly executed that dungeon. I've got to check the timer on that, but that was really fast. I feel like that was definitely sub 5.
Yeah, I think I only missed the one encounter skip, and that one's the trickiest one because it's position dependent and you have to hit A right as you're hitting the door.
Now we get to hear that roar, and I don't know about anybody else, but the first time I got to this part of the game and you hear that roar, that is a little bit horrifying.
Actually, what am I doing? We have the epoch right here. We already have the time period unlocked. Don't have to actually go through the gate. I actually just realized we don't know what the obstacle got randomized to because we killed Terra Mutant too quickly. Though to be fair, we might actually just kill Lavos too quickly as well. Actually gonna stop in here.
Yeah, a couple nice things here. Speed tab, that restoration pad that fully heals, and shops if Janus decides to go. But yeah, I think Janus is pretty happy with their gear.
We have the Vigil Helm, which protects status. I think we have one amulet, so even if obstacle turns out to be something awful, we can protect 2 characters from it.
Heading into Zeal, where we will start the Ocean Palace, followed by the Lavos Gauntlet. I mean, you've got to be level 40, right?
Pretty sure. Somewhere around there. 39.
To give some perspective, in a standard run, a lot of runners will get to Lavos at maybe level 32. Maybe if they aren't getting the best of gear, 34, they might push it to. You rarely see runs where you're going to be 37 or 38. We're probably going to end up at like 42 going into Lavos, and it's going to be fast.
Yeah, one rounding golem here. You really don't see that. Almost ever.
That means you will probably one round double golems, I think. Or 2.
Yeah, Luminaire might actually do enough to finish it off.
So now this transports us down into Ocean Palace. This is our end game dungeon for the second run and final run of this category. If you've got the shelters, why not use them?
Yeah.
Can I drop in another donation?
Oh, of course.
Absolutely.
We have Serto Skunk donating $25. Hey Twitch chat, can we get a $5 donation train at the 2-hour mark? Here's that $5. Here's that times 5, $5. This is being put towards a Delta Room bonus game. Let's push to that 10K. And for people that did not know, if you donate $5, you're entered into the prize pool draw. So definitely an incentive. Thank you so much for that donation.
I hate when the second attack doesn't do the regular damage it should against those bar guests.
Yeah, those enemies are really interesting.
Yeah, I don't really need the experience from these. I'm just checking to see if we get any good drops. I did get a speed belt from that Jin and Barguest fight.
That's nice. Did you see the new tech this room's used for now?
I don't think so.
You can come in here and get both of those scouters to counterattack Ayla instead of standing in the fireball. So later in the run, if you have Ayla in a minute, you want her health to be low. And that's something a lot of runners have been doing now. It's really, it's really smart.
Yeah, that's not a bad place to do it, for sure.
Yeah, instead of our old strat was we'd stand in front of a fireball in this next area that would shoot you and lower your health by like 10 or 20 a shot, and you had to just stand there for 20 or 30 seconds.
Yeah. So normally this would be the fight that we'd grind on, because this fight is repeatable by just running up the stairs and coming down. It gives a ton of experience, ton of tech points, but since this is our second run, we're just gonna ignore it.
Look at that execution. Just perfectly dodging those.
Almost made it through this. That floor too. Let's see how long it takes this guy to load these enemies in.
Yeah, sometimes this can get behind. Someone's asking, what's Jets of Time? Jets of Time is the Chrono Trigger Randomizer. It has a bunch of different flag sets and options, and the one we're playing today happens to be a category I invented called Lost Worlds Plus, that Janus is very good at and has a lot of fun playing, so we just did a Lost Worlds Plus tournament a little while back, and that was a lot of fun too. I just love that Jets of Time takes this experience that is so important to me and so enjoyable. It just takes that and makes it digestible in a couple hours with really interesting decisions to make. So this is the elevator here. People call this elevator or lift. There's a few techs that make this elevator quicker or easier. Ayla and Frog both have an a tech that does more damage the lower the more HP they're missing. And that can come in handy because it does non-elemental damage. There's one fight in particular on this elevator that is really challenging, or really time-consuming at least. But I don't think you'll have too much trouble getting through it.
No, it won't be. It'll still be a little slow, but it won't be too bad.
Really, the only thing that would have been super nice is if Frog happened to start with Frog Squash and you had a gold earring, you could equip that and just use him for this fight if you wanted, but yeah. I don't think it's going to be a huge deal, and the odds of that are pretty low.
Yeah, so the reason that this fight is so annoying is you can't use elemental AoEs, because they are weak to their own element, but absorb and counter any element that's not their own. So there's a couple ways to go about this fight if you don't have Isla or Frog with their nice skills. You can either single target physical down like one of the colors while one of your party members single target magics the color that they're good against, and then you can AoE the last two. But since we happen to have all three elements in our party, we're at such high level, we'll just single target them. So not as fast as it could have been, but not as slow as it could have been either.
No, I think that was very respectable. So next up, the next skip we're gonna have is we actually hopefully get to see it twice, which is a scouter skip in this next area. So you're supposed to go into each of these doors and flip the switch behind the scouters. And sometimes you can get out before that fight starts, and then you don't end up having to fight both sets of scouters. Although sometimes you take the fight anyway if they dropped something incredible on the bridge or on the elevator.
There we go, we got one. 1 for 2 is not bad.
Yeah, and that is Scouter Skip, and that's a really neat little trick. So next we get one last high tier chest, and then we head into double golems. Which is, you remember the golem fight from earlier? And now there's 2 of them. After double golems, then we head into the Lavos Gauntlet. And that will be the end of the run once we get through that.
So much damage. Double prism specs.
Pushing 6k. I don't think we're gonna see these guys for too long.
Nope.
Oh, there they go.
Yeah, so this is the only other spot in the game that is kind of rude and does 2 like boss fights right one after the another. However, in vanilla, it is not actually that rude because it is an unwinnable fight. The second one, in Jets, it's the final boss, so you actually want to make sure you go and heal and save.
Yep, those are the 2 save points I always tell people. They don't get, those are the only 2 times that it doesn't give them to you. And like you said, they don't expect you to win this fight, so it doesn't actually matter in vanilla. But in Jets, it certainly matters.
Yep. Yeah, in vanilla, the opening attack that Lavos does here will usually at that point in the game hit your party for over 1,000 damage each, when your max HP is 999. And you won't be anywhere near that max HP until much later anyway. But if in a New Game Plus you actually come through and beat Lavos here, you actually get the best ending in the game. Or that's one of the 2 ways to get the best ending in the game.
Alright, here we are, one-on-one with the Tick himself.
Alright. Yeah, we're gonna like 2-round Lavos as well.
Yeah, this is gonna be very
level.
fast.
Yeah, it's absurd level of damage. Well, we'll see what Obstacle does here. Pretty sure Luca has a vigil hat on.
The final Lavos fight, Lavos core has 20k health. This is gonna go pretty well, I think. Certainly gonna be a Lavos 1 cycle, I think, if you don't get into like a heal loop.
Yep. Yeah, as long as I get the menu glitch between 2 and 3, it should be really smooth sailing. I actually just realized I might one-shot both arms here, which is not something that happens ever.
I don't get out your bingo cards, but I don't think I've ever seen somebody one-shot both arms.
I have once, and you don't want to bring it up around Corinth because that happened in the.
Was
that
that
happened
Moon?
in that one. That's the
That
Moon
was-
Blizzard Corinth racer.
What a good race! Oh,
Where
both
Moon
of
Blizzard
them are
pulled out the
incredible
Omega
players.
Flare. Yeah.
That was so good. Pretty much what happened was Moon Blizzard went out of his way to get a rock, a triple tech rock, and it happened to be the one for the exact team he had been training, and it made the difference between he and Corinth's race. Like, it was wild.
Yeah, Omega Flare is the most powerful tech in the game. Besides Grand Dream, actually. Fun fact.
Oh, there it goes. One shot the arms.
Yep, and thankfully it is only slow, so...
Oh, that's not bad at all. This is going to be a very fast Lavos.
Yep, it is a little annoying because any status effect that you have lowers your damage in Chrono Trigger, but... Oh hey, glad you could make it for at least some part of this, Akuhaish. Good to see ya.
Aku, being another big Lost Worlds Plus runner, held the world record for quite a while.
Oh my god, Luca's so slow. How is Luca that slow? Just having the slow condition should not be making Luca take that long to charge rate. Oh, that's bad. Like, we're fine, but that's bad.
Coin Cash is concerned about how Lavos is being treated. Lavos started it. I'm just saying. And they are putting up a fight against 3 people. They knocked Luca down.
They knocked Luca and Chrono out there, which is crazy. Well, that's like the 4th green dream I've gotten. Although I think I only have 2, because that doesn't carry over between New Game Pluses, I don't think. Because it's another plot item.
Yeah.
Well, event item. Alright, we do have the Mega Elixir even if I don't get the Elixir glitch, so...
I think there was one run I pulled like 6 Mega Elixirs, so I menu glitched just to use the Mega Elixir menu really quick.
That's fair.
There it is. So nailing that menu glitch. It's gonna let Janus heal everybody up, make sure everyone's battle ready.
Yeah, I think we're good to go here.
Yeah.
Mostly just had to heal.
These levels are frankly ridiculous. Getting to level 40 is not common at all in Jets in most runs. So the core of our strategy here is we want to take out that center bit as quickly as possible. There it goes.
Well, that was fast.
Because the center is the part that does all of the big damaging attacks. The right bit is the real Lavos, and in just a moment it will lower its defense if it hasn't already, and Janus will just start hitting it as hard as they possibly can.
I think we got the glitch where it didn't show it off, like show it lowering its defense. We'll find out here. Sometimes if two things happen at once, yeah, it won't give the message that its defense lowered.
Yeah, good catch, because I'm always so hesitant to attack, and sometimes it'll cost you a bunch of time. Like, I think it cost us some of that cycle because it just never told us.
Yep. Yeah.
But the defense is still down, so it's not a huge loss. Like, now Janus can just hit with big AoE and keep hitting the right bit. Just most damaging attacks is what we're gonna see.
Yeah, and with the whole team hasted, it'll be over very, very quickly here.
And we're gonna see time pretty quickly here. As soon as they start fading away, that'll be time. So as soon as right bit starts fading. So anything sub 230 on Lost Worlds Plus, I consider to be a good run. Sub 2 is definitely doable with some good luck, some good key items.
Time.
That's time.
Yep.
2:15:55.
Yeah, not too
like
bad
I said,
for 100%
sub 230 is a
one.
great run.
Thank you so much for such a wonderful run and commentary. Are there any final words or shoutouts that you guys would like to do?
Definitely just a huge shout out to everyone in the community. It's everyone's fantastic people. We have a lot of helpful people, a lot of great guides all around. Lots of good tools to help people learn the game. We're all willing to run through seeds with you, answer any questions that you might have.
Yeah, I'd say the same. Join the Discord if you're interested in playing Jets. All that is on the Jets of Time website. But if you have any interest at all, give it a shot, because there's so many different ways to play. There's certainly going to be something for you there. And just all the community members and all of the people, all the volunteers this weekend for this event, everyone's been fantastic and very welcoming, and so I really appreciate that.
Well, I'm sure there are people out there. I'm kind of interested, but I still need to play the vanilla game first.
and I think I don't. So I usually say you should play vanilla before you play Jets, but that's more of I love Chrono Trigger so much. I want you to enjoy that experience. But if you're really just super into randomizers, you're gonna be fine jumping in and learning as you go. But I think you're missing something. But I don't want to be too judgy either.
That is fair.